So I think that college is very expensive, especially for out-of-state people who have to pay tuition.
So I'm in-state, so I don't pay as much as people from out of state. But one thing that I think is it's what you put in to college that makes the cost worth it.
I think that you gain a lot from a college experience, but it's most definitely not worth upwards of $150,000, $250,000 over the course of your career, especially not when you take into account going to grad school, which most people have to do at some point in their lives.
Well, honestly, like college is amazing. It's enjoyable. You get to meet new people, make new resources, network, but also the cost of it might not be up to par.
I definitely think they should be able to give more financial aid to students, especially like students like me who don't receive any financial aid because like my family is kind of just above that line where you're deemed kind of worthy of financial aid. And so I think there's a lot of families like that who are still struggling to pay for college but aren't deemed worthy of financial aid. So I think if the government helped out more, I think it would be great. I would say it varies kind of as far as education. So some classes I feel are worthy of like the cost of college, and then other classes, the teacher, the material that you learn, I feel like it doesn't really add up with the cost.
For example, I'm involved in the business school. I'm part of a scholars program. I've studied abroad twice while I've been here and as a sophomore. Just the experiences like being able to go to New York and networking with people like that for free and joining clubs and getting that network and, you know, it kind of ensuring that I'm going to get a job, which I'll be paid later, and, you know, being paid off the amount that I've put in this time, I think is really what makes it worth it.
Yes, you get the college experience for the money, but I feel like there should be more online textbooks and more available resources for college students so they don't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for books. Although the education is worth it, it's still very expensive for some people that can't afford it.
There's an insane amount of textbooks costs that can be easily mitigated through legislation or new legislation. New implementations of like open source textbooks could be implemented that are not, even though it's easily accessible. Overall, I think it evens out right now, but it could easily be lowered and it could be even more beneficial to the student.
I think that there are definitely people that need help with going to college and getting aid, so I think it's definitely important. I'm not really too familiar on like how the process works and things like that, the specifics, enough to say like whether I think the process is like efficient or things like that, but definitely people should be receiving help.
I think that they should. Didn't they made some institutions free in New York, and I think that's really good, or at least to cut the price, because for the amount of money it costs, a lot of people can't get to college because of how much it is. So I think that there should be financial aid, like more opportunity for financial aid.
I think the government should most definitely be doing anything it can to help the next generation of people that will work in it and in the private sector. So yeah, I think it would really benefit a lot of people if the government, whether it be federal, state, or local, would chip in, kind of help us limit the cost of college tuition, because it's really starting to cripple a lot of people.
I believe it's useful in the long run. I think it's also beneficial for the government to provide these resources for the students because they gain access to the education that they need.
I definitely think they should be able to give more financial aid to students, especially like students like me who don't receive any financial aid because like my family is kind of just above that line where you're deemed kind of worthy of financial aid. And so I think there's a lot of families like that who are still struggling to pay for college but aren't deemed worthy of financial aid. So I think if the government helped out more, I think it would be great.